I've been stabbed a few times. I've been shot before. I've had beer bottles and boards and beer cans broke on my head. The will to win is how you survive. Most street fights that I've been in, we didn't take a chance to stop and introduce ourselves. The guy enters my space and he's not looking real friendly. I'm going to drop him on the spot. First, above all, realize that there's a threat out there, that other people are studying how to hurt people. They're working elbow blows and hammer fists and leg kicks. These things do work. We're working at a retarded pace, and they're still choking people out. When you slam somebody, the fight is done. Fights are finished in 5 or 6 seconds. It may not be something that we enjoy, that people are out there hurting people, but it's just the way it is. Good. All right. Boy, they're real close to your cheek. All fancy kicks that we can throw around, how to see things coming and relax under fire. You have to be a little bit mean and nasty, somewhat ruthless. You can't be afraid to hurt somebody. I call that imposing your will. You have to take away their will to survive by imposing your will on top of that person. You cannot do that by being nice. Many street fighters are good to a point, but they don't know how to finish. If you're smart enough to hang out for a while and outmaneuver them, outthink them, outlast them, then you'll win most of your fights. I look at fear as a motivator. If I didn't get scared or spooked, I'd never be in a fight. Ripping somebody's eyes is not that awesome. The alternative is a lot worse. There's just some bad people out there, and you need to defend yourself. Hesitation is what's going to cause you to lose, maybe even lose your life. Hi, my name is Jim West. I'd like to thank you for buying my video series on street fighting. It's very important that you realize that this video series is not geared to teach you to become a professional fighter. It's not going to help you in point tournaments or kata competition. The majority of the content that you'll find in this video series was developed through my personal training and through experience which I've had take place on the battlefield or in a bar room or in a parking lot. Majority of it did happen in a bar. The things that you will learn in this video are mechanically and technically and psychologically correct. You'll learn some about how to stand, how to hold your hands, how to throw a few kicks and punches, and how to survive in the streets. When you get to our barroom scenarios that are put together, you'll see some mistakes come out. Well, been my experience in over 600 street fights that nothing works as you're taught or trained. So it's very important that you have yourself a good base to operate from. You need good foundation, a way to stand, a way to carry your hands, a way to position yourself when you're confronted with one or more attackers, with or without weapons. So it's important that you take time and you learn the basics of how to stand, how to hold your hands, try to key in on some of the mechanics of punching and kicking, and then pay close attention to how to grab and trap and manipulate and turn. And then there's a segment you'll find where we do a lot of attacks to the windpipe and the eyes, the ears, the nose, the throat. That's called soft tissue ripping and tearing. If you're giving up a large advantage to a much larger attacker, if you're female and you're on the ground being choked or raped, these techniques will at least give you an opportunity to break and run. In many cases, it'll give you an opportunity to even finish the attacker. Now, when I say finish, bring them to an unconscious level, make them give up, and in some cases maim or kill. That's not the intent, but you will see that happen at some levels throughout this video. It's some pretty serious stuff going on, so pay attention and take it for what it's worth. My philosophy is WWW. What works, work. If I go for your eyes and I can't get them, I'm going to kick you down low. If I can't get that going, I'm going to move somewhere else and grab a handful of hair. That's the way you have to treat it. You can't quit, and that's the rule that you want to live by. When it comes to life and death, you cannot give up. All right, if you would, I want you guys to get into positions right over here. Just what we're going to be doing is some street fighting classes, and we're going to teach you guys how to operate in not so friendly environments. It's a lot like a sport environment, but there are no rules. But a lot of the fight principles are the same. First thing that anybody has to do before they get into a fight is to get into a good, ready position. It's either called a ready position or an on guard position, or you'll have a lot of names that people come up with. They're all about the same. first and foremost, about 98% of all your fighters or people are right-handed. So we want to put our strong side to the rear. So both of you guys are right-handed, correct? All right, what you want to do is kind of put your feet together at first, and then just take a step back about shoulders width apart with your right leg. And if you could imagine standing in the center of a clock and 12 o'clock being straight ahead, you'll be anywhere from 45 degrees to almost 90 degrees with your feet. And you'll have a slight bend in your knees, pressing through your knees and into your toes. Can you guys follow along? Good. Now, you don't want your feet too wide. A lot of the old traditional karate systems will get too wide down here. When they get real wide like this, it gives you strength, but you lose speed. And if they get too close together, you get speed and you lose your power. So we like a good North American boxing stance as best as we can. Next thing you want to do is very important that your elbows stay real close to your side. If you're facing 12 o'clock, your feet are going to be facing between 1 and 2 o'clock, both toes. If you just put your elbows by your side, ball your fist up, and pull them up to where they're real close to your cheeks, and you're kind of looking right in here. You're going to have a little bitty hole right here. You want that. We can defend against that real easy. We don't want to do this, get this hand right in front of your face. What happens here, you can get hit, and it works around it. Actually, the farther your hand is in front of your face or away from your face, or either to the sides or to the front, is the more easy you are to hit your chin. And that's our first knockout area. So what we've got here is a strong side to the rear, so we can drive, and we've got our weak side to the front. Now, go ahead and relax a second, and I'll show you what I got going on here. If I can just have you stand face me real quick and get into a ready position. It's very important to note that we're going to point our shoulder, our lead shoulder, their lead shoulder. And what we want to do is have our lead hand to be our weak hand. And the same time, when we move, we're going to shove our head right down into the pocket of our shoulder for punching. Now, if you turn and face this way for a second, we'll get a better look at it. Go ahead. Put your hand out. All right, straight ahead. All right, what we want to do is protect the V of the jaw. This is a real vulnerable area. It's easy to hurt people and knock them out, and protect the throat. Keep your back hand up in here and your elbow along your side. This is extremely important. When it comes to punching, basically you're hitting with your front two knuckles. If it's a punch, I just prefer hitting with the whole front side. The more surface area I can hit with, the harder I'm going to hit. And you want to lock it out. Now, if your knees aren't bent here, you can have your friend come up here and push you like that. Go ahead and put your weight on your back leg, and you'll fall off balance. You don't have any power in here, so you want to bend and get down on your toes whenever you're working like this. And make sure that always, once again, that you throw your chin right down into the pocket of your shoulder. And this is a good position right here. Everything looks good. If you tend to, go ahead and put your hand back in. If you get your body this way and open it up like a big billboard, it's easy to penetrate the vital areas right down the center of the body. So we want to make sure we twist, turn our body, flex our knees. Go ahead, Dale, fall in right over there. And put your weight right through to the ball of your toes. And the first thing we're going to do is actually move a little bit. Your movement patterns will come next. All we want to do is when we move is to make sure that we go toe to toe. There's a lot of schools of thought out there on how to move. I like to move as fast as I can in each and every direction. And there's good reasons behind everything that people do. But if you move toe to toe, what's going to happen is you're just going to take a little step. If you take a 6-inch step here, you're going to take a 6-inch step here. If you take a 2-foot step, you're going to take 2 foot. And that was heel. And so you want to be real symmetrical with your feet. Common problem is most people, they will step here and they'll pull that foot way up here, and then they end up losing their balance once again. Balance is essential to successful fighting, especially when you're moving left and right and in and out. So what we're going to do, we call that a push slide. That's the old boxing term. You don't physically slide the foot, guys. You just step foot to foot, toe to toe. And when you go backwards, the back foot moves first. When you go to the right foot moves. And when to the left foot moves. If you relax real quick, I'll just explain to you what you don't want to do. What you don't want to do is get your feet crossed over where you can see the back foot if you're facing 12 o'clock and the back foot's about maybe 7 o'clock. When you get like this, you lose your balance. It's okay to be here straight up and down or out just a little bit. Those are good stances right here. The other thing, if you get your feet real close together, you're going to get knocked off. So once again, I can't stress the importance of a good basic foundation and the importance of footwork. Footwork precedes all your kicks and punches ever thrown, so we've got to get into it. Let's get back into a good ready position and slide back just a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to get back in our clock. whenever you practice at home, if you can just draw a clock on the floor or put some tape, and 12 o'clock is going to be straight up in the front of you like this. So what we're going to do, we're going to go from the center of our clock to 12 o'clock. You guys ready? When I say go, all we're going to do is push slide right there. Ready? Go. Good deal. Now all we're going to do is go back to the center. Boom, go. All right, that's a good deal. And if you want to really practice your movement, you can just walk around your clock like 1, 2, 3, and we don't have to go through all that right now. It's just important to know how to move. It takes about hours and hours and days of work in these drills here. Okay, go ahead and relax for a second. I've trained numbers of special forces individuals in all special operations communities. When I was still on active duty, I trained special operations soldiers from almost all the Latin American countries, Central American countries. That's where I spent my last 13 years, and working on counter-narcotic strategies. And we spent a long time training all those. I worked with the Schools of America for a while, and I was one of the chief hand-to-hand instructors. I always like to give it a flair of realism. You'll see that in most of what we did. I believe an impact is a necessary part of training. All right. Okay, any questions so far about how we stand? We're going to call that an on guard or a ready position. Okay, if I can get you guys right back into that real fast, I'm going to go over the lateral movement real quick like. There's certain things that you have to pay attention to when you're moving. Once again, that your feet keep shoulders width apart. Your elbows always stay close by your side. This is a little far out right here. These are areas that you can be attacked. And I tell you got a rib and a diaphragm down here you really want to protect. Everything else other than that looks real nice. And we want to be able to see right through that hand. Don't put it in the front. Now, let's look at the movement patterns again. They're push, slide, toe to toe. And I say toe to toe, you go to ball of the toe to ball of the foot. All right? Don't step heel to toe. Muay Thai kickboxers go heel to toe, but they do that for a reason. And the reason that they do that is because they got a sport where they're kicking a lot of leg kicks. It opens up the hip and allows them to block with their legs real fast. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying that the fastest movement pattern that you'll develop is toe to toe. Now, if I can get you guys, when I say go, just to go 1, 2, forward, and then back to the center of your clock. Let's see how that looks. Go ahead and give it a shot. Go. Forward and then back. Good. Now, what I want y'all to do is to go left. If you move left, your left leg's going to go first. If you move right, your right leg's going to first. Okay, let's go ahead and move to the left and then back to the center. Okay, move to the right, back to the center. All right, you guys look excellent. No problem. If you'll notice, and you try this at home, and you'll say, oh, well, Mr. West said I can move back and forward and left and right at the same speed in any direction. The facts are that's not true. It's very difficult to move left and right as fast as you do in and out. So if you want to help yourself a little bit, take your head and point your back toe out just a little bit. It's called a scatter step. You just take it and just use your head to move with. And it'll speed up your lateral movement side to side. Let's go ahead and try that real quick. Let's move to the left and back and to the right and back. This is a little Xing pattern. All you're going to do is go here, back to center, here, back to center. And keep your hands up. Ready? And go. All right, let's try one more time. Go. All right, and let's look at these angles here. Good angle. Keep your shoulders pointing straight ahead. All right, you guys look good. Okay, go ahead and relax for a minute and step right here, Judy. This is really important, guys. Face me and get to a ready position and put out your lead hand. We're going to start punching here in a minute. If you remember, I said that 98% of all fighters are right-handed. That's true. So you want your power to the back. I said that, and that's true. Why? Because go ahead and change sides on me real quick. All right, changing side just puts the weak side up front. If I were to penetrate, or you were to penetrate inside of this guard, say she missed, and she's a right-handed person, her left hand's the back, push with that hand. See, there's not a whole lot of strength back here. You don't have a mechanism to support your fight scheme with. So change sides again. Now she's right-handed. She can set up her punches. She can distract me. She can finger jab me in the eyes. There's 1,001 things she can do with this lead hand. But if I slide inside here and she pushes, push. She's a lot stronger off of this side. They've got all the power back here. You want to set that power to the back so that you can use it when you need it. Okay, go ahead and line back up, guys. All right, let's look at how to punch. Now remember, this is a street fighting video. Don't get excited about, oh, it looks like kickboxing. Well, there's not a whole lot of difference. The biggest difference is a lot of times in the street, you're not going to be using closed fist. You won't be using closed fist because you don't want to break your hands. If you're in an environment where weapons are available and you hit somebody and you break your fingers, you won't be able to use your gun, for example. But the mechanics remain nearly identical between punching, elbows, palm heel strikes, and when we kick, we'll talk about that shortly. Let's go ahead and get back into a good ready position and look at the first punch. We're going to call it a front punch. It's easy. It's no more than a boxer's jab. It goes straight out off the shoulder, and you drop your chin down into your pocket of your shoulder and look straight over the top of that hand, just like this. You don't want any bends in that wrist where they're bent up like this, because then you're going to cause problems. You want to punch straight down. All right, and make sure that we got what they call forward pressure, always leaning into those punches, so when you hit, you get to stick them a little bit. You want to put some bite into all your techniques whenever you hit somebody. And what you're doing, now, this is the only punch that you'll throw. It doesn't matter if you're boxing, doing karate, or street fighting. This is the only punch you'll throw, a front punch, off the front side of the body where your heel does not twist and turn, where the heel doesn't twist and turn. And it's a real fast, short punch, so you can use a lot to set up the other ones. The way we're looking, when that punch goes, it comes up through the leg, out through the elbow, and through the hand. So when we tell people to pull that hand back, we want to pull back the elbow, right back to the side like this. Go ahead and relax for a second, guys. What I'm saying is when a person's punching, they'll say throw the hand. They'll throw the hand. If I just throw my hand out and not push my elbow, my hand can go out at any kind of angle, leaving a lot of openings in my body. If you say push the elbow and twist turn the hand, so when you throw that, it twist turns, you're looking straight over here. Then when you pull the elbow back, you pull it straight back to your side. So you push, pull the elbow on all these type punches, even if they're uppercuts, hooks, palm heels, and keep your hands close by your face. If you don't pull the elbow back, the hand will tend to just swing back in any kind of direction. And when that happens, once again, you're leaving a lot of openings in your body. Real quick reminder, other things you want to avoid is building an A-frame. When your hands are sitting out here at 45-degree angle, you look and feel real comfortable because your hands are in front of your face, but there's no defense in here whatsoever. I'll take Dale real quick. Face this way, Dale, and get into a ready position, and lift your elbows out. Look at this, guys. He feels comfortable back here. You feel comfortable? He feels good and comfortable, but there is no defense in here at all. If he pulls his hands in right, it's going to be very difficult to work around that. And a lot of guys don't push-pull their elbow. I find this to be important. Get a little angle here. If you can take yourself or get a friend to put your hand out, press into here. When I say pull your hand back, pull it back to here as quick as you can and freeze. Go. So this is a normal instinct. People pull like this at an angle. You can take a lot of the boxers out there. When that happens, guys will slide out and they'll work under and they'll work over. Okay, because there's no defense at this point. So it's really important you concentrate on your punches, on push-pull of the elbow. Okay, let's line it back up real quick. And let's look at the front punch and the back punch. The back punch is no more than a boxer's right cross. Remember, the mechanics of this technique is the same as a boxer, but it's the same mechanics that we use when we start using palm heel strikes and elbows. And that's some real close, nasty, dirty infighting, and we will be using that a lot in the near future. Let's get back into a good ready position. Now, if your hands are real tight, open up your hands. You've been working this ready position, and if they're sweaty in your palms, your hands are too tight. You need to relax them. When you're tight like that, you get a lot of the kung fu stylists, their hands get real tight when they're in front like this. And when they're tight, you're involving muscles that don't need to be there for punching. Your punches need to be real relaxed, so your hands are almost open. They're just relaxed. Also, it helps you blocking a lot faster, too. So relax your hands. They tighten up on the last 1 to 3 inches of the punch. Boom, and that's where you get your power, plus it pulls it back. And you rock into it, boom, just a little bit. And remember, when you hit somebody, you don't want to hit them hard enough to make them mad. You want to hit them hard enough to get rid of them. All right, because when you get a person mad, the adrenaline pumps up. And when that happens, sometimes it turns a positive situation into a negative. All right, so what we're going to do is take this front punch. We'll go ahead and stick it out. Make sure that your thumb's on the bottom of your hand, not off to the side like this. Sometimes you'll hit here, bust a radial nerve, and you develop what they call boxer's thumbs, and that causes lifetime problems. When you pull it back, guys, pull your elbow right back to your side. Go. Good. All right, when I say go, if you guys want to practice, just go out back nice and easy. Drop your chin into the pocket of your shoulder. And try that a few times. Go ahead, just work it a few. Good. All right, looks good. Now, what we're going to do real quick is develop a little rhythm real fast. All we're going to do is pretend that there's a bar. Go ahead and relax. Between our front hand and our front foot. Well, it doesn't matter which side's up front, but what's important is do not step ahead of your punch, and don't punch and then try to step, because you lose all your drive. Whenever you're doing straight punches, your drive comes off your back leg. So you want to pretend that there's a bar connecting this lead hand and that lead foot. So when you start your movement, everything here moves at one time. Boom. And you impact on your target, same time your foot touches down. And just tuck everything in. This is going to give you a good, solid, powerful punch, and make sure that you're driving, pushing off your back leg. Boom. You don't want to hit people halfway, believe me. So let's go ahead and line it back up real quick. We're going to set up a little rhythm drill real fast that you can practice at home. Turn on some music, watch TV, and get a little aerobic exercise out of it. We're just going to go toe-to-toe like this. And every time our front toe hits the ground, we're just going to put our hand out. Just get used to everything moving and driving off the back leg. We're going to do that real fast and move on to the next subject. Go ahead and just try that out real quick. Every time your front toe hits the ground, good. And you hear Dale over there breathing. It's important to breathe out when you are punching also. Okay, and relax. Good deal. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to throw the right hand or the back punch. I call it a back punch because some people are left-handed, and their left hand's going to be back here. So it's straight right or left, straight left cross or whatever. And real quick, let me answer a myth that a lot of people have. They say, well, why do they call that a right cross? And they go, well, because it crosses over the body. Turn your back a little towards the camera, right over here. Okay, so now stop. See, a lot of people think that it's because you cross your body, and that's wrong. When you cross your body, you lose all your drive in this punch. You lean over your front leg, you shorten your reach, a lot of problems happen here. It's called a right cross because it crosses over that left jab, and it shoots straight off the shoulder. Just try to keep that in mind. That punch shoots straight off the shoulder, so when you're lining people up to hit them, you want to get them straight in front of that hand before you fire it. Okay, get lined back up. All right, ready position? Good, ready positions. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to go, remember this, heel, hip, and then through the elbow. And then we're going to take that hand, our back hand, we're going to throw it out, and we're going to lock the heel out at the same time we impact, just like that. And the other hand's going to stay high up along the face. A lot of people tend to drop this hand when they're punching like this. We don't want to do that. And it's important to keep your weight centered, your head right over your crotch, basically, just like this. You don't want to lean out over this leg. So when you're working at home in the mirror, make sure you check these things out. All right, go ahead and just turn your heel out and push through the hip and push the elbow out. Good. And look straight over that hand. Judy, you're looking real good today, Dale. You're looking good. All right. These are good punches. Notice that heel has got to turn much like throwing a baseball. It's normal mechanics. Okay, and pull it back in. All right, put it back out again. These guys have been with me a while, so they pick this up real fast. Okay, and back in. Back out. Back in. Everything here looks good. They're turning their body. They're going the heel. They're pushing the shoulder, and that elbow's firing out just like this, and they're looking right over that hand. The back hand stays up to protect the face. And try to avoid leaning over this leg. Keep your weight centered. You want your waist or your hips to work like a washing machine. This way you're going to really get into your opponent or target. Okay, go ahead and relax real quick. What my system does a lot, don't it? It gives a good blend of both upright fighting and on the ground. It teaches you how to close, how to kick, how to punch, how to bite, rip, tear. And if you have to, go down, take them right to the ground. This is Remo. He replaced Dale. Remo and Judy right now, they're going to pick up and start working a 1-2 punch. It's a combination. We're going to get back into a good solid ready position or on guard position. Make sure that we got our weight pressing through our knees, our elbows tucked in by our side. Something I failed to mention. When you're in this ready position, tuck your chin in and make the back of your neck as flat as you can like this, and try to keep your shoulders relaxed even though they're up a little bit. When your chin gets up in the air and you get hit, you end up getting a lot of severe concussions and direct impact blows that will actually knock you out. So the tighter your chin and the tighter your jaw, the less problem that you'll have taking these punches. You've got to learn how to ride or absorb these punches, which is another reason your knees are going to be bent. Okay, let's go ahead and get into a good ready position. What we're going to do now is take a 1-2 punch, and that's what I'm going to refer to, that left and that right. A simple 1-2 punch. and we're going to put them together. And we're going to put them together with movement, and then we're going to put them together and start working some counter drills. We're going to just real quick block it and fire back and get used to distancing. Distance is really, really essentially important, and we'll discuss that in detail. Okay, real fast, like all I'm going to have these guys do, we want to fire and move right away. We don't want to just stand here. You can do this and punch. I find it's much better just to go ahead and start stepping and moving. So the way this works, guys, when you step out, don't get too far out. When you step out, you're going to go toe to toe. Remember, when that front toe hits the ground, you impact with your target. When that back foot hits, you release, step, and then clear. What we're doing here was fire, cover, and then move. Fire, cover, and move. We're going to fire. We're going to keep our hands up to cover in case someone's shooting back at us, and then we're going to get the heck out of the way. When you move back, it's not real advisable to take a straight step back. It's kind of, you want to step in and maybe 5 degrees left or right on the way out, because majority of people, when they get hit, they swing straight at the target. That means where you hit, they're going to be throwing right back at you. So if you move just a little bit and you tuck your chin into your shoulders, a good chance you're not going to be taking flush blows to the head, which increases your survivability. So we want this right hand to hit the target at the same time that heel locks out. So we're going to step in and then step out just a little bit. Make sure our knees stay flexed. Y'all ready to give that a shot? Okay, go ahead. When I say go, just fire in, cover, and then take a little step out. Go ahead, go. Good job. Let's try it again. Go. Just do that for about 10 seconds or so. Let's make sure we got a good movement. I'll check you guys out. All right. Okay. All right, not bad. Good. Okay, and relax. Okay. Now we're getting in there. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to face each other. I'm going to put these guys together momentarily. First of all, I'm going to take Remo, and we're going to sit here and square off at each other. Positioning is probably your first fight principle, and then in mechanical base, it's really essential to survival. If I point my shoulder at my opponent's lead shoulder, it cuts down all his target area for all of my vital areas, the soft spots, the groin, the stomach, the diaphragm, the throat, the nose. So turn your body, point your shoulder right at his lead shoulder, not at his back shoulder, right here, and kind of get toe to toe. Me personally, I like to get just a little bit inside that toe if he's a right-handed fighter. That way I can kick straight up into his groin or get some good shin kicks in. We'll be covering that pretty soon as well. So what we're going to do is now, to get your proper distance, I want you guys to step out, put your hand right on top of the person's head you're working with, take your back leg, and just take a little step out. You want to get outside your range. This is where you want to fight from. A lot of people make a big mistake. They feel comfortable right here. When they start punching, their punches never fully develop. So you want to punch from outside, working in. This way you get all the power right out on the end of your punches. So when you're setting up, hand here, take your back leg, step out, pull your hands up, get shoulder to shoulder, flex your knees. All he's going to do is throw a jab, and he's going to throw it straight at my throat. The reason that we do that is because that's where I throw him in a fight. And the reason we do that is because most people will see your initial takeoff. When you start your step, they'll move, they'll flinch. If I flinch left, if I flinch right, if I lean back or just go straight down, in all cases, my chin ends up becoming the target. And that V of the jaw is our first knockout area. So in other words, if he were punching at my nose or my forehead and I ducked, he's going to end up hurting his hands on my head. So it's better to have him punch straight at the throat. So when they see that initial move, they walk right into it. And there's a good chance of increasing knockout. So he's going to get our distance down. All he's going to do is come in here, and I'm going to do a little parry. I'm not going to go very far. I'm going to kind of just hit that hand and just pop it, a little quick pop. Just make sure I move it just a little bit, okay, because this is going to set up some reaction punching later on. So go ahead and get your distance out a little bit. Good. When he steps in, make sure you mirror his movement. So when he moves, I move. Now he pulls his hand in and I fire back, and he blocks. Okay, go. All right, ready? Good. Make sure you move. Go. Good. And this is a good reaction training right here. It teaches you how to see things coming and relax under fire. Okay? Relax. Okay, so we're going to put Judy and Remo together here for a second and see if they can work this out. All right, watch your distance first. Make sure your angle's right. Okay, distance looks good. All right, go ahead and begin. Good. And relax. Excellent. Okay. So that's kind of the first drill that we're going to do when you guys work at home. This gives you a sense of timing. The reason I say that because distance creates timing. If your distance is correct, one, you can see the guy coming at you. It doesn't matter if it's a boxing ring, a karate match, or a street fight. If we're standing here like this, probably the very first rule that I like to follow is, one, don't get hit. And the easy way for me not to get hit is just to stay out here. He can drop his hand. He can be ready to rush me or street fight me. I don't care what he's doing. If you're sitting over here with your hands up or looking at this guy, you're ready to fight, and you got good, clean distance in here, his biggest number one problem is going from point A to point B without me hitting or kicking him. If he stands here, he can hit me with doing nothing but moving his hand. I can never see the initial movement. You can sit at home and hit people day in and day out like this because your body's not moving. But the second I move here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to step at you. All I want you to do is just move out of the way or block, right? Let's say we got good adequate distance. So now I've got to get to him. So if I'm sitting here like this, I want to get to him, I've got to do what first? You've got to move. So when I start moving, he's already started his move. So I'm not going to get that clean hit. All right? But let's say, for example, I'm here, and he goes to avoid that punch. What doesn't have to move is the body. He's messed up his distance. We're standing here. He allowed me to get a little too close. Now he wants to avoid the punch. And you can do this all day long. Just pop. Boop. There's no way out of that, okay? But if you're here, you try the same thing, he's gone, right? So the first thing that you do, whether you're in a street, or whether you're in a ring, or anywhere else, is to control the distance. So positioning. And positioning consists of several things. One is you get your distance. Two is you get your angle down, you get your aim down, and make sure your body's in a good position, and you're thinking clearly, all right? Okay, now that we've got our basic kicks, our basic ready position or our on guard position together, we know how to hold our hands, you know how to get into good angular position against your opponent, take away the vital areas, the center line. Next thing we're going to do, we got a couple of punches going on so far. We're going to come back and cover some more punches also. What we're going to do real quick is look at some low-lying kicks. We're not going to be doing real high kicks. One of the things I want to point out, before you guys start kicking around the house, it's probably pretty smart to go ahead and loosen up, warm up a little bit first. Always start kicking slow and then build your kicking speed as you go. Kicking's not very natural, to most of us at least, and you want to make sure that you don't start out by pulling muscles. It's very important to loosen up your hamstrings. Now, I'm a really good head kicker, but you don't have time to work out 6 hours a day and kick to the head. We want to finish our objective in the street a lot faster than that if it's all possible. So a lot of our kicks are going to start by pointing our knee at our target and just throwing it. It's very uncomplicated. Okay, Judy, if you will, just turn and face me a little bit. First thing we're going to do is we're going to work our first kick from our basic ready position, and it is no more than what we call a jab kick. A jab kick, you're going to point your knee at your target. In this case, we're going to work from the waistline and down. Periodically, we're going to be kicking into the bladder, into the private areas, into the knees, and you got a big nerve right here that will disrupt the motor functions inside your femur. You got two on the back, and you got another one down here. So we got a lot of places to hurt people real bad from the waist and below. So it's real easy just to kick and then follow maybe up with a 1-2 punch. So what we're going to do is our first target area is going to be the kneecap itself. We're just going to kick right into the knee. All Judy's going to do, for example, she's sitting out there, she's going to pick up her knee and bang it and hit right into the knee. When you hit these knees, you want to arch the lower back just a little bit and just, boom, just hit them. This is going to pretty much take most guys right out of the fight. You're going to create enough pain to start imposing your will and get those guys out of the fight plan. So the first kick is going to be right here to the knee. Go. Yeah, a little bit low right there. Okay, go. Good. One more time. And we need to practice these kicks a lot too. Go ahead, because it's not a natural movement for most people. Go. All right, let's try it off the front leg. Just simply step up, point, and kick, just like that. Just step up, point and kick and just shoot the lower back out just a little bit. Go. Real simple kicks. We're hitting with the ball of the foot. You can also hit with the heel of the foot if you have to. Some people have a hard time bending their toes back for some reason. Okay, go ahead and try it again. Okay, so what I want to do, we set up a little quick drill. We'll go back and then we'll go front, okay? So hit this knee and then hit that one. Go. Just get our target practice together. Good. Try it again. Okay, these are straight kicks. They work real fast. Probably go ahead and relax for a second. The front kick, and that's what that is, it's just a little jab kick. That front kick is the easiest kick thrown. It's not real flamboyant, and it's probably the most underestimated kick in a kicker's repertoire. There's a lot of big, tall, fancy kicks that we can throw around here all day, hook kicks and stuff. But what we don't do, if I'm sitting here like this and just pick up my leg and boom, it's done. If our distance gets off and I start to throw that kick as she's moving forward, then you throw the knee into him, just arch the lower back. So if she stays out there, I may kick into the hip. If she starts closing in on me, I may kick inside here with that knee. Also, you may want to go into the femur, go, and give it a little angle. We'll talk about the angular kicks now. And it's the same principle. We're going to point the knee and twist our foot a little bit and go. Okay, the way this works, now we're going to change our target area. Also, that front kick, let me explain something else to you. That shin bone's a real nice place to hit people. Okay, you've got a nerve that runs right down the front. There's no meat between the bone. And so it's skin, nerves, and bones. If you really want to distract somebody, you kick them right in the shin. Or if you got a little practice, you go down here and you go shin to shin with them. And this is really going to hurt them bad. Okay, so she's going to take her foot. If you guys got boots or hard sole shoes, wear them when you go out. Because that's a good place to kick people. All right, so she's just going to go right into the shin real fast. Go ahead. Yeah. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, right in there. Yeah. Be a little more aggressive, yeah? Yeah. Okay, good job. All right, now, what we're going to do now is we're going to work the side of the leg on the outside first, then we're going to work the inside. And we'll show you the best ways to work these target areas. If you're going to kick with a round kick, you want to kick with your instep right up in here. Once again, we're going to point our knees straight at the target and kick. Now, you will get a lot more power if you get higher up on your shin bone area than maybe the middle 5 inches of your shins. So what you want to do is you want to just bisect these legs. You want to go right in the middle of the femur, or you want to go right in the middle of the calf. Okay, that's the thigh. You want to just draw an X, go straight to the middle, and do that on the inside and outside of both legs. That's where you want to hit. It's real easy. You don't have to spend a lot of time aiming and worrying about hitting them. You just twist, turn. The bottom foot now is going to twist, turn a little bit, and your hip's going to twist, turn. Point your knee, arch your lower back, pull the back hand up, and just kick straight through. So this kick here will break a leg real easy. If you really want to get some power into it, you roll your pelvis or your hip, point it straight up to the ceiling, and drops them. Now, I'm going to borrow this is Remo real fast. Stay right where you are, because he's a big guy. And he will be able to, you watch his body react. I'm not going to hit him real hard. We're going to get into a good ready position. Now, once again, we're going to go right here. He'll be able to, you can watch his movement. When I throw the first kick, I'm kicking low on the foot or the instep. And he goes, oh, I can feel a little bit of that. But that's not going to really break anything, not necessarily. Let's say I'll get into my shin bone a little bit. I come in here, get a little more. Can you feel the difference in there? It's a little bit different. Now, that's almost going to hurt him. That may stop him a little bit. If you turn that hip upside down and just don't even bend the knee, just swing the leg like this, he's feeling that a lot, okay? So all you're going to do is just roll your hips like this, and that's just about going to put him out of the game. All right, thanks. Okay, Judy, back in. Those are really rough, nasty kicks. People have actually died from the shock generated from femur kicks. All right, so we're working inside the leg, outside the leg, low inside the calf and the shin, and inside. Make sure that your hands stay high now, because you're coming inside. When you're kicking like this, you're getting inside their reach here. So it's really important not to get hit, okay, if you can help it. That's one of my first rules, don't get hit. So a good exercise you can do, let's say, for example, she's going to start off kicking here with her back leg, and then here with her front leg. This also conditions your leg a little bit. So I come back, kick, kick, and then she comes back, keep the hands up, go. Go ahead, you know, right here. Good. And this will deaden your nerve ends a little bit, so that if you do get kicked, you get kind of used to it a little bit. Go. Good. All right. We're not even blocking yet. We're just having fun right now. Good. All right. You just get used to working with them. All right. Go. Good job. Okay, and relax. There's another kick you can use if you really want to. It goes right up in here in the hip, and it's a little heel hook kick right here. It just comes up and hooks right into the hip, and that's pretty painful also. So you might want to set up a drill where you come and kick in here and kick out there. So you might want to kick here with your front leg, step back, clear, come back here with the hook kick, and that hits with the heel. Go right here. Get right up in here in the hip. Good. Front. Here. Good. A little harder. Front. Good. Here. Of course, the private areas always work good too. The Gracies, Joe Louis, Bill Wallace, everybody, those guys know more than everybody on the planet. But I'll assure you that if you were to interview them and ask them, they all have a favorite move. And they win most all their fights off of their favorite move, whatever that move is. I know Joe Louis had a sidekick that was, he was like the king of the world for 17 years or longer with one technique. Bill Wallace had a left leg that traveled 60 miles an hour. And there's no difference between a ground fighter and an upright fighter. They develop techniques that work for them. And sometimes that can be your worst enemy as well. Now we're going to go straight down to the legs real quick. Something that you can do while you're sitting here. These shin bones, there's no meat. There's only skin, and there's bone, and there's some nerve that runs right down the front of the shin. So anytime you can throw a foot, if you got a hard sole shoe, you're sitting here, you might flick the eyes or throw a little distractor and then kick them square in the shin. If you got a real strong guy and you got strong shins, then what I like to do is I like to kind of sidestep them just a little bit and cross my shin right here. As I cross their shin, I go heel down and stomp my foot here, and it locks the knee out real hard. If you do it hard enough, you're going to create injury to the shin and rip and tear the nerves along the back of the knee. So if you're in here fussing and fighting and his hand comes up, I can sit there and pass his hand, step right inside, and stomp right in here. Notice I go heel first and then lock it out. Boom, like that, sorry. And then you got the rest of the setup. So you can just step in, boom, and stomp right across those shins. If you're just kicking and you condition your shins, and there's a lot of ways you can do that, you can also just drop down, bend, and kick shin to shin, or drop down and kick shin to shin. Shin hits really do hurt. The shin hit will cause so much pain, in fact, that most people will give up the fight almost instantly. If you got very basic roundhouse kicks on the inside of the ankle area and the outside of the ankle area, great places to kick people, to take them off their feet. All you got to do when they start messing around is drop down on one knee and slam. Drop down on one knee, slam. A lot of these kicks will actually break the leg. If you get up into these nerves in the side of the leg, right in here, and you start hitting, it'll buckle them right up. Right in the back of the knee if you end up this way. Just above and below the knee, we've got another, I think it's a peroneal nerve. If you smack these things, go ahead and put your weight on your legs. If you hit these nerves right here, like hit down on them, all I'm going to do is just hit it real quick, and you'll watch his knees buckle. Okay? And that's not a hard hit. Okay, now that we've looked at some of the potential target areas and how to do a little quick jab kick, I want to remind you real quick when you kick to push in your lower back and shove. It's almost because it's going to be the same way you work your knees later on, by shoving them into people. These are called blitzing knees. Just bang, hit them real hard. Now, so that's the same technique you use when you kick. And remember, hit that bladder right in here, maybe 3 or 4 inches below the belly button. It's not going to do a whole lot of damage if a guy doesn't have to go to the bathroom, but if he's in a bar and he's been drinking a lot of beer, it'll blast it wide open, and there's a lot of ways you can hurt people. And that's what you want to do if you're in a fight. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is show you how to block those kicks. Once again, we got a kick coming here to the femur. Nice and easy, go. Okay, so the first block we're going to work is a T block. We're going to be standing here like this. We're going to shift our weight to the back foot, which opens up our hip, and we're just going to pick our foot up, point our shin, and then kick them out. So we're going to go shin to shin and then push them back out of the way. And I'll start showing you the very first sweep right here also. which is an inside leg sweep. So we sit here, she starts to kick here, go, and push. See that little simple push? Let's try it again, go. Let's try it again, go. All right, that push pushes them a little bit off balance. So if she does that, go. I can go here and push. I can suddenly start stepping in and coming through here and hitting these legs. This hurts like the dickens when you pull them out like this, guys. It rips their crotch all out. So that's called a T-block. What we're going to do is she's going to work a T-block real quick, see if she gets it together. I'm going to try to kick her right here. She's going to turn her shin up and go shin to shin with me. Go. Good job. All right. Good. Okay. She's got that together. Next block, real simple. If I'm going this way, she just tees to the inside. Just pick your leg like kicking here. Right in here, anywhere you go. All you do, come right inside here. Kick right inside here with a kick. Yeah. Reach with it because it hurts your knee good. Just go the other way. If she's a left-handed fighter and she kicks, go. Just in here. Or simply just pick your leg up. We're going to do a spring up real quick. We're going to sit here like this. We're going to shift our weight back and tuck our leg in here and throw a right hand. If we're real close, we're going to throw an elbow or forearm. So we're just going to go up and down. Now I'm going to ask her to kick me as hard as she can. Then I might bring Dale over and let him kick me as hard as he can. Let you know that if you do this right, it's really not going to hurt you. So what I want you to do is kick me as hard as you can. Go. And then drop them. Okay, ready? Go. Good. Right in here. Go. Now change angles. Dale, come on in real quick. Stay here. We need you, Judy. You're not finished. All right, stand on this side. Same thing. Nice and easy. First, just put your foot there. Find your spot. Haven't been doing this yet. You'll go good. A little bit harder. Good. All right. Now that hurts pretty bad. Now I want him to kick. All I'm going to do is just spring. Real easy. Real nice and easy. Ready? Go. Good. And then step right into him. And then take the legs out. All right. There's a lot of things you can do with these blocks. When you bend that knee, it takes all the stress and strain off. Plus, when your body moves, it absorbs that kick punch, all right? And you want to make sure that you don't eat anything solid and flush along the legs. That's going to hurt you real bad. Okay, what I'm going to do next is we're going to get Remo and Dale to do some training that you can do at home with your hands. If you've got gloves or mitts or something, it's probably best because you're not going to get any cuts and tears. And the way things are today, you don't want a whole lot of cuts and tears on your body if you can at all avoid it. Safety and training will allow you to come back and train again tomorrow. Real quick, if you just slide on and use Dale real quick, set up the drill. And then we're going to work 3 or 4 different rhythm and timing drills with guys punching. This gets you used to, 1, make sure your distance is correct. 2, make sure your hands are up. And 3, you can block. You can parry these little blocks off real simple. So what I'm going to have him do at first is he's going to come in here and hit me right at my throat. I'm going to go right back at his. So we're going to move. We got firing, moving, and covering. Right? We fire, cover, maneuver all the time. So his job is to come in and try to hit me. My job is going to go back. I'll set up each drill, and then we'll let these guys go for maybe 10, 15 seconds apiece. You can work these drills 2 or 3 minutes apiece if you feel good. The more you do it, the more effective you are at seeing things coming at you. And you have to develop your sense, your senses of awareness. Okay, you ready, Dale? Okay, when I say go. Okay, that's going to be our first drill. Guys, I'm going to tell you, punch right in here. Oh, I got a microphone here, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Remo, come on in. And face each other. What we're going to do is the first drill for about 10 seconds, then we're going to transition to the 1-2 punch. All right, hands up, getting a good on-guard position. Check your distance out. All right, good. Now, you go ahead and begin, and you block. I want you guys to actually hit each other if they don't get out of the way. Good, relax. Okay, we're going to add the right hand. Now, remember, these are short little pawing motions. You're in here, you're just slapping that hand and just popping it, popping it. Real quick, and if I get these guys here, put your hand right under his chin here. If you take these hands and press them way down here, or put yours under his chin, you get a better shot. Press way down here. Guys, when you do this, you're opening up your head. You're setting yourself up for failure. If you block across, you're setting yourself up for failure. This is okay when you're penetrating, but not when you're hanging outside on the peripherals trying to set them up. Now the 1-2 punch is simple little pawing, but they're not really blocks, it's just a little pawing motion like a cat, paw. Okay, you're just pawing those things down and coming right back with your own 1-2 punch. Fire, cover, maneuver. Okay, you begin and you answer back. Ready? Go ahead. Good. Get set. Good. And relax. Good. Okay, these are pretty good drills. If you get used to this, your sensitivity will increase. If you're outside in a ballpark or walking through a parking lot or out with your buddies somewhere, and you see people getting within punching range, your antennas will start coming up naturally. You'll either be one thinking about what you can do or two thinking about how you can avoid the situation, one or the other. Okay, this time we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 1-2 punch up high, and we're going to come back to the body. When you block to the body, throw the right hand in here and leave it. You're going to use your inside forearm and just slightly turn your waist. Here, just bump it. So you're not letting it get to you. So when he does a 1-2 punch to the body, I'm just simply just pushing and not dropping the hands. It's very important not to let your hands down. When people manage to pull your hands away from your face, they're setting you up. Believe me, they're conditioning your mind so they can get up here and hurt you. All right, go ahead, ready? Yeah, go to the head. 1 to the head, 1 to the head, 1 to the body, 1 to the body, okay? Start a little slow, get your rhythm together, and let's pick it up. Go. Good. Body. Good. Body. Head. Body. Body. The second shot's the body now. Okay, bring it back over here just a little bit. You guys are kind of getting all out of whack. Try to keep it in the same place all the time. What I want you guys to do is work back and forth and try not to leave your basic position. There's no reason that you should end up anywhere except for where you want to end up. You, as a fighter, have got to control the distance. You cannot allow the other person to control your distance. Okay, so we're going to try not to move not even a foot from where we actually begin. Now let's speed it up a little bit and go. You begin. Go. Head. Body. Good. Head. Good. You got to get them body shots in. And relax. Okay, not bad. All right, these are real simple drills that you can do real quick while they got the gloves on. And the reason I do this is because fighting is an impact sport. Fighting in the street is an impact game, if you want to consider it a game at all. But there's a lot of impact, hard impact. So what we're going to do now is have these guys hold their elbows in one at a time. He's going to bring his back foot in a little bit when he's hitting it. All he's going to do is do some body blocking. You sit in here like this, somebody's trying to hit your body. You want to pull your elbows in real tight, bend, and just take them like this. So in other words, if he's trying to hit me to my body, right, go ahead. All I'm going to do is bend, see? Bend, 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 bend. And then I'm going to have him hit me hard. See, what do you weigh, Remo? About 230? About 230. And he boxes with some big guys. So he's going to go right at my body, try to get into my elbows, and I'll let him go a little bit hard. Okay, go ahead. Okay, this teaches you how to take impact and how to ride it. You just can't stand there and take it flush on your heels. Get into a ready position. If a guy's in a ready position, he's not toe-to-toe. He allows his weight to drop down on his heels and his chin to come up. Guys, one of the first objectives I always try to do is get a guy backing up real fast, get him on his heels. When you get hit on your heels, your body absorbs every square inch of that punch. When you got on your toes and your knees slightly flexed, even if you get hit, you can ride it a little bit. You know, you can ride some. But when you're on your heels and you get hit, you look at setting yourself up for a knockout. All right, so let's move it in real quick and do some body punching. First of all, Dale, you're going to hit it, Remo. Work right at the elbows and just work left and right. Don't move. Stop moving around. Stop moving forward. Stay in there. Don't back up at all. You're on the offense. Okay, now we're going to go the other way. Slide back over here just a little bit. You guys try to stay in one place. It's hard to get. It's very important for fighters to move, so when you're training like this, it's hard to get them to stay in one place. Okay, up. Okay, now you're going to the body. Go. Good. All right, don't move. Stay in. Good. Woo. And relax. Good job. All right, good enough. Those are a couple of real quick drills. They're a little bit tough on you. If you got some nice gloves, it really doesn't matter. One's just probably as good as the next. and get in there and just go ahead and start working on those arms and elbows and toughen up your body, get it used to impact, and get used to riding with those punches. Unfortunately, anytime we get in a fight, especially a street fight, you're going to end up getting in sometimes in here because a lot of guys are afraid of getting hit. And if I'm sitting out here in the street and he's starting to hit me, and when his punch comes and lands, I'm going to, oh my God. If I'm not a skilled fighter, my first natural instinct is to tuck my head and come in here. Well, it's very, very hard to get in here without getting hit. So if you're going to get hit, you've got to condition your body so you can think under fire. Inability to think under fire is probably like signing a death certificate. You've got to get used to these games. So get a partner, get somebody you can work with, and start working these drills just like that. Be smart about these drills. Don't just work them to work them. Sit there and say, okay, I want you to punch to my body. I want you to punch to my head. Okay, I'm going to work this out. Communications is very important when you're working like this. That's how you develop it. It takes a neuromuscular tract, 1,500 repetitions at every angle and every speed for your body to develop that momentum and that motor memory. So you've got to do lots and lots and lots of these drills. The basics, the basic stance, the 1-2 punch, the hook punches, all these punches are the one subject that we all try to avoid. You know, it's real nice to look at a Van Damme movie or something and go, oh, that's what I want to do. But I'll promise you, I've trained and I've known many world champions, not one or two, and every one of them, regardless of what style of fighter they are, all have one thing in common, and that's they have skilled, mastered their basics. Their basics are just so phenomenal. They can sit here and move and shoot. They can beat you a lot of times with 1 or 2 techniques. They don't need the whole repertoire. They just got their basics down so incredibly fine that they can beat you with their basics. And so you have to train these skills just like that, one at a time. Set up your training. We'll have some more today. And before this thing ends, we'll do a lot of skilled training with it you can put together at the house and work safely. A person doesn't have to train 8 hours a day or even 2 hours a day. You may want a 2-hour session a couple of times a week. Some people like to train 30 minutes at a time here and there, and that just doesn't sink in. If you did an hour a day, I don't think you get as much out of 2 hours 2 or 3 times a week. You don't have to train for 3 years to be proficient. You have to develop your own personal scenario or system. Get a good base, get your footwork working, and look at what people do. 98% of your fighters are right-handed. They're going to be winging or looping that right hand. If they got a weapon, it's going to be in that right hand. As far as a kicker's concerned, all you got to do is step into his kicking range and cut his kicks off. You can cut off most of those weapons real fast. So then you just worry about, what you're actually physically going to do. Where am I going to hit him? Be familiar with the target areas and know where you want to hurt somebody. And just practice those moves over and over. Okay, the next thing we're going to be doing is some more counter kicking and counter punching techniques. What Remo and what Dale were doing earlier with the gloves, whenever you're blocking and slapping back, these are counter punches. They're blocks and they're counters. One of the things throughout my entire series, a message that I'm going to attempt to send to you guys, that unless you've got 5 hours a day and 20 years or 30 years to become real proficient at routines, it's best to practice similar to an American boxer, but you have to obviously add a lot more tools to the trade than boxing. What we attempt to do is reactionary training. You block, you hit. You block, you hit. A routine, for example, would be nothing more simple than, for example, if I were to explain, oh, this is a knife, and this is a target area. You're going to take that knife and you're going to swing at my target area. For example, so she swings at my target area with her knife, and she goes here. A routine would block, and then it would, once you block the routine, you'll come here, you'll turn it around, you'll stab them. I'll promise you that if you don't have day in and day out and 20, 30 years of training these routines, like come at the other side, like all this stuff, then these routines are very, very difficult to work in a bar or in a street or in a parking lot or anywhere for that matter. And the reason that they're so hard is because, first of all, your attacker ain't never going to punch or kick or swing a knife or a weapon the way that you train. Almost never. It's hard to get your training partners to throw them right all the time. So all of these drills, when you see us going back and forth, they're counter kicking and counter punching drills. So what we're going to do, I'll use Judy real quick. We're going to set up a drill, and these drills should get harder as you go. Start off nice and easy, develop your pace, your rhythm, make sure you're blocking smooth, and you're countering. Now what you saw before, for example, she throws a jab, go ahead, and I might throw a counter, one of these two hands. This time, she's going to fire in here with a 1-2 punch. I'm going to go block the one. Go ahead. I'm going to drop it and just slap it inside like I did before. When that 2 comes, it's a pretty hard punch. I'm going to use it to pike my body. So I do a little bitty piking at the same time. I'm going to take my heel or my toe, and I'm going to go boom, and I'm going to blast that shin bone real hard. And just really you want to hit now about, 4 inches below the knee. That's going to lock the knee out. All the nerves run up and down the back of the knee. If you break the knee from that angle, they're going to be crippled probably for the rest of their life. So she's going to go 1, 2, I'm going to block pike and come in here and just stomp, right? Remember, point the knee and stomp. Now, if you notice, I changed the angle of my foot a little bit. If you got hard sole shoes on, this works real good because the heel's going to connect in there and just snatch it and drive. You don't want to hit and pull back. You want to hit and lock those legs out and drive all the way through. Additionally, if I lock the leg out, she can't run either. So I can still move in here and do a lot of work. So you can break the leg, do a lot of damage, or just trap them in their own place. So she's going to throw 1, 2, go. I'm going to go here. Once I pike, right here, and then you start putting it together a little faster. Go like that, right? Go. All right, and this is a basic setup. Try to build your speed, like I said. Let's go ahead and see how it works here. So Dale and Judy, let's go ahead and get this thing going. Okay, start off slow and develop your rhythm. Good. Okay, if you notice they're just getting it together, there's a little gap between the block, and the kick. Now, as you start moving, you want to get that down towards block, kick. Start cutting the gap down between all your techniques. In other words, if I punched here and I punched here with a 1-2 punch, there's time for him to get in between that punch with several techniques. So you want to get the gap between this and that real small, this and that real small. That's where the need for lots of training is involved here. At those things we hate the most, the basics. Okay. Go ahead. Okay, try to pike and come back real quick. There you go. Good, a little faster with the leg. Good, a little bit faster. Pike, go. Should be 1, 2, 3. Damn, good. Not bad. All right, good job. I'm going to let them off the hook right now. That's a good drill to work. We need to practice those counter kicking and counter punching drills. The next drill we're going to work is we're going to do the same thing with our punches. I'm going to have these guys put their gloves back on and show you how to work reaction punching. And also we'll probably move into how to cut people off and how to work moving backwards. Unfortunately, we hate to move backwards, but you got to know how in order to survive. There's some old boxing tricks and some karate tricks I learned that have made me survive in the street environment more than once. If you know how to back up, I tell you, it'll save your life a lot of times. You don't trip and stumble all over yourself. So we're going to do some reactionary punching. Then we're going to put some footwork together. We're going to get the fire cover maneuvers together and start picking our pace up. So let's get ready to run a little bit harder now. A street fight's going to be determined real fast. If you've offended somebody or if they just got enough liquid courage in them and they're going to come up, they're going to enter your space real fast. And you have a real short amount of time to make a decision. You'll look around. It's been my experience, if you turn your back, I've been hit in the back of the head with beer bottles and other inanimate objects. So it's partly conditioning. If a guy enters my space and he's not looking real friendly, I'm going to drop him on the spot. That doesn't mean I'm looking for a fight, but it means I'm avoiding my fight by terminating something real fast. Okay, next thing we're going to do, Dale and Remo here, we're going to have these guys set up just like I want you to do at home, and we're going to work some reaction punches. All we're doing is reacting to a punch that comes to us. Some people call it counter punching. It's all the same thing. We're avoiding, once again, routines. So what we're going to do is have these two guys face each other. Before we do that, let me show you what we're going to do. All right, the best way to counter this left hand is with my right hand. So when a person swings that left out, you're going to step just a little bit and then throw your right hand. we're not going to step away from this punch. We're going to twist turn our heel as we block. Go ahead, like so. And then I want my head to get outside of his right hand. So when he throws that, it's here, go, boom, like that, and punch straight into his chin. So now I'm actually leaning. I'm getting my weight in case he throws that right, so it goes outside of his right hand. So he's going to punch, and I'm going to go, boom, right hand. That's our first counter drill. All right, real simple. Remember, we're going to block and continue to root. So it goes here, boom, hit, and he comes back. No, then I come in, block, counter, right. Okay, let's get in here and see if we can do it. These guys haven't worked this drill with me before, so we'll get it together and see how it goes. All right, let's guys look good. Good. All right, you will get hit sometimes doing this. Just relax, guys. One of the things you have to do when you're fighting is learn how to relax. That's important to these drills. You will get hit periodically. Try to speed it up a little bit. We're not trying to knock each other out, but good. Make sure that your head goes outside his right. Good. Good. All right, relax for a second. Now, that's a pretty good job, guys. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the reaction punch for the right hand. What happens here, and the best way to do that is when he steps in with his right, is I step over just a little bit and then pop straight over the top, right? We're going to come right over. So all I'm doing basically is working a mirror effect. When he comes out with his left, I'm working right over top. When he comes out with his right, I'm working right over top. Make sure that you take this little step, just slap, and then go straight to the back of the jaw. One thing to remember is a lot of your punches, whether they're hand chops, fist, palm, heel strikes, forearms, elbows, a lot of your punches should be geared right at the top of the chest or the throat. Because remember, that person's going to be ducking, and that V along that jaw, that's where I want to hurt this person. The more you can separate the jaw, the more likelihood of dropping this guy, making him fall down, and in essence, ending the fight. So when he starts that punch, go. We're going to step punch, right? Go. Step punch right here, okay? Go. Step punch, good. Go. Step punch, all right? Go. Step punch, got it? Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's get in here and work. We'll work it. You go at him a little bit, and then I'll let you go the other way. So first thing, you start punching, and then I'll tell you to switch off here in a minute, and then I'll have you work a drill, okay? Good. Good steps. Don't move too much, guys. Well, payback's a bear. Okay, relax. Now we're going to go the other way. Here comes the right hand, and he's going to take a little step out and fire the left over top. Okay, let's go. Don't step too far out. Let's move back in the picture here. All right, guys, this is just a short little step and over, okay? Real easy. We don't want to move way away from our target. We want to stay within punching range. Good. All right, good deal. Now, next thing we're going to do is just have a deal real simple. He's going to throw a 1-2 punch, and I'm going to react to the 2. So he goes here. He goes 1-2, right? Ready? Go. So I go step, right? Again. Step, okay? Go. Step, all right? Step. Just get used to moving laterally, moving left and right now. One of the things you want to avoid whenever you're in a fight is if my opponent's coming at me punching, is backing us straight up. Normally what happens, if he's coming after me and I got 2 or 3 steps going backwards, it's very difficult for me to counter because I got everything going backwards. Whether I'm in a ring or a room doesn't make any difference. Sooner or later, that wall's going to come up and sneak up on me. And when it does, I'm back on my heels, he's under my chin, head up in the air, and he's beating my butt. So you don't want that to happen. You've got to learn how to back up. We'll get to that in a minute. But right now, all we're going to do is that 1-2 punch and slide out. We're working left and right. You want to stay within punching range. So go ahead and fire. Good. Over the top, outside. Outside. Good job. Go the other way. Let's keep it in this way. Maybe that's something good. Slide it back. Okay, good deal. Now all I'm going to have you guys do is real simple. We're going to do a 1-2 punch. He's going to come with a 1-2, go. 1-2. When I do this 2, I'm going to throw the right, but instead of throwing right, I'm going to shin to shin or shin to knee. So real simple. We're going to call it, we're going to boom, boom, bang, right here, okay? Let it go. Boom, boom, or you can take out the back leg. Doesn't matter. Either leg, let it go. Boom. All right, so let's go down here and just do a real light kick on one of those legs. It doesn't even have to be a real proficient kick. Okay? Slide it back up in here. Good. All right. All right. Okay, go the other way. Try to shoot straight up in here or straight in here. Straight into the shins. Remember, you're working this way. Use your back leg to kick with, Remo. What we're doing, we're going to punch 1, 2, and we're coming across this way. Okay, bend this knee and slide that way, just like you were with your hands. 1, 2, kick. Good. Let's try it again. All right, good job. Let's try it one more time. Okay, let's take a break. That's it, guys. Y'all looking real good today. This is not a sport. This is a war. This is a matter of life and death. You, your friends, and your family. You take it as far as you have to survive. You've been presented with a lot of opportunities, a lot of training techniques. Remember to put a lot of realism into your training. Environmental realism, chairs, pencils, pens, knives, forks, whatever you happen to get your hands on. Use your distractors. Very important to use your distractors. I know you've seen them come out. A quick distractor will distract any individual for an instant. And that instant is all you need to close the gap and finish. A real good fighter, he can take one counter and finish you with one blow. If you train hard enough, work on your elbow strikes, work on your other strikes, you too will be able to execute any of these techniques. Find your favorite ones, suit them to yourself, and put it to work.